that. Thanks. So I've known Aunt Trudy most of my life, or she's known me most of my life. But I was very grateful that I lived near her during some very formative years of my life, my preteen years and into my teens. We lived next door to the Browns in Adidome, but we went to school in Accra. But during vacations from school, we kids loved going to the sandbar. We went canoeing and swimming in the river that was near Adidome and had a lot of fun. But one of my favorite things to do was to go hang out at the hospital. They once had to tell me I needed to put shoes on when I was there. But I learned to take weights and blood pressures, simple things, but I thought I was contributing and I really enjoyed it. And I loved to see new babies in the maternity ward and was even allowed to observe surgery as a pre-teenager, which I think is really cool. But my favorite thing was to help out Aunt Trudy and her team with the well baby clinics that we did in the villages of the region, some of which we had to take a boat to. And Aunt Trudy was never too busy to teach me and guide me and show me ways I could help out. So what I did there was weigh babies, and I loved that. But more than that, she made me feel like a valuable member of the team, like I was really a help. And that was such a gift to me. She must have been so busy, but she always had time for us, all of us, and had patience with our questions and so on. I know it was from these experiences that I developed a passion for a career in healthcare, and especially the plight of those who don't have adequate healthcare. But I know I'm not unique in knowing Aunt Trudy this way. I think she influenced many of us. Her love and dedication to her work was very inspiring to many of us. But especially, she was kind and compassionate and had unconditional love for all of us. I think that's come out already a couple of times that I don't know that I ever saw Aunt Trudy ruffled. And it's hard to believe that she had to cart Lois out because she was screaming. but those were my remembrances of Aunt Trudy. We talked about them last night, and there are many, many more.
Hi, I'm Laurie Winter, and I'm also of the missionary kid generation. Up here, is that better? Oh, good. I wanted to stand down there because I'm not very good at speaking in front of people, but I understand that people need to hear. So I didn't know Aunt Trudy that well while we were growing up in Ghana, but I did have one occasion that has been fairly foundational for me. I got hepatitis and was ostracized to Adidome to be taken care of, and Aunt Trudy was my caregiver until my parents arrived from a trip they were off in Nigeria someplace. And anyway, Aunt Trudy sort of took care of me in her very gentle and non-judgmental way. And I apparently had upset another missionary woman in the compound, and she had scolded me one of the days that I was there, and I was quite confused and upset and came crying back to the house, and Aunt Trudy was home for lunch or something, and she listened to me, and she just said, well, you know, sometimes adults also have problems. And you just have to realize that that's, you know, you have to accept that as well. And I think that from that, I learned that gentle sort of non-judgmental caring that she had was a way to be in life, and I think that expresses some of her faith, that she was accepting of a lot that happened around her. I think I got to know Aunt Trudy a little more when they were here in the States. I came through Crossville a few times when I was in college, and also while I was in graduate school, sometimes with Ken and Kwame and Ellen, sometimes not. And one of the trips that I made, I think she came and picked me up at Knoxville Airport, and we were driving through the hills. Anyway, I remember it as kind of being one of these drives, and talking about her work with kids and preventing teenage pregnancy and dropout, and just working in the schools with sex education, that I just was fascinated by that and understood. At the time, I had also made a choice to be a nurse, and I understood that I really could also contribute to public health as a nurse, and Aunt Trudy was inspirational in that, and I did end up working in dropout prevention as well for a while. But when on that drive, we were talking about how much she had to drive for her work as well, and how sometimes it was just hours. And I said, well, don't you get tired? And she says, no, my sons, and I can't remember if it was Alan or Kwame, taught me this trick, is if you put a toothbrush in your mouth and pretend that you brush your teeth every once, it keeps you awake when you're driving. So, wisdom, it was Alan, okay? And I thought, okay, well, I could try that because I go to sleep when I'm driving. Anyway, so I remember her, but I think of all that gentleness and all that love and acceptance, I think for me, the first memory when I heard that Aunt Trudy had passed on was her laughter. And I still hear her laughter. I think that is one of her expressions of delight in this world, and delight in the sense that there's always wonder. There's always, again, you said wonder in questioning and wonder in the beauty of the world. And I always think of her. She laughed about lots of things, and it was just always fun to laugh with her. And when I hear Lois laugh, I hear Aunt Trudy laugh.